Welcome back to P3. 70 years after the death of King Herod, Masada was seized from the Romans by a group of zealot Jews who were resisting Roman occupation. Almost 1,000 men, women, and children held the mountaintop fortress, but were surrounded by over 15,000 Roman troops below. Here's more on their story with the Hebrew University of Jerusalem alumni tour guide, Ami Dotan. Down below here, and when we first started, there's those stone kind of camps. What was that?
Okay, here we come to the second story of Masada. Actually, it's the more important one. The heritage of Masada is the second story, which you have pointed out for me with the camps over there. We're talking about year 67 AD, about almost 70 years after King Herod had died already. There's no more King Herod. We are not going to talk about him anymore. Okay? We're going to talk about the Jewish rebellion against the Roman Empire, which started in this point in Masada. It started, they had a garrison, the Romans had a garrison in Masada over here. It started by sneaking up, guerrilla warfare if you want, sneaking up. The Romans did not fear anything, didn't think of anything, of Jewish soldier rebels coming up to the top and slaying and killing all the Roman garrison.
Wow.
And catching the place. Now 7 years have passed. 4 years have passed, from 67 to 70, okay? The rebellion was all over Israel, okay? And it was crushed by the Romans. The last stronghold that the Jews had was over here in Masada. So the big rebellions of the Jews against the Romans started in Masada. It continued by the destruction of the temple in year 70 in Masada. And in 73, the Romans came over here and have decided they're going to totally crush Jewish independence.
How many people were up in this stronghold?
Eventually, almost 1,000. But many of them were women, the refugees from all around, from the rebellion who fled over here. Okay, so almost 1,000 people came over here to Masada, lived here, hoping to renew Jewish independence. And the Romans came over here and they built what you pointed out. Like the best preserved Roman siege system in the world is here in Masada. You see the camps, okay? You see the camp over there, and you see the camp over there, and the wall which is going in between the camps.
So they completely surrounded this place?
Completely, all around Masada. The idea is to suffocate the people, both of provisions, psychologically, not letting even one person escape. And they have managed that with the siege system and with the warfare that we are going to talk about and see.
Okay, this is an incredible story. Show me the next one.
Okay, let's go.
So Ami, you have these zealots who are up on top of this incredible mountain fortress. They've got food, they've got water. How long could they last up here?
They could last for years. They have enough food and water for years. They were not only the zealots. Zealots are part of it. There are families of refugees who came with their wives and children, and people lived here for a long time. We're hoping to have again Jewish independence over here because we are close to the east. The Parthians are over there, always a menace to the Roman Empire, hoping that somehow they'll come over here, help the Jews re-establish their independence.
This is the last chance of hope for the people of Israel.
Last chance of hope, exactly, for independence, exactly, last chance of hope. But the Romans obviously have their own ideas. And the Romans come over here and they build the camps that you see over there, the square camps over there, and the bigger camp which is up there, and the wall which goes all around. We've seen it from the northern palace as well. And the Jews over here just laughing at them. The name Masada in Hebrew is the unconquerable fortress. Like, you can stay there for years as long as you want, but you won't be able to come up here.
This is so high on a cliff.
Exactly. But the Romans, what they do, they are so well trained and they are so knowledgeable, they start building the ramp that we can see over here.
Out of dirt, piling.
The dirt over here is not natural formation. This is a dirt that was piled over here by Roman soldiers, by Jewish slaves that were enslaved during the rebellion. If you walk down there, you can even see some logs that they use as scaffoldings for the ramp. Okay, so you see 2,000 years old logs that were supporting the wall. And they have built a siege tower that we can see a reconstruction, or the base of a reconstruction down there of a siege tower, and they start pushing the siege tower to the top.
Up this ramp.
Up this ramp, all the way over here. Now, a siege tower has a battering ram and has an upper floor with archers, so you can chase away the defenders from the wall. You're higher than the people who are defending in the wall, okay? So the archers and stone throwers and so on chase the people away, and the battering ram breaks the wall exactly on this spot that you see over here.
This is where there's a gap. This is the only gap I've seen.
The only gap around, you have a wall which goes all around Masada, and only gap is over here, okay?
Wow.
The Jews still think that they can defend themselves, because what they're doing, they're taking wood that they had inside, and they are building a flexible wall, okay? So if the battering ram rams it, then it just jumps back. It jumps back, so it won't be able to break it, okay? But the Roman, obviously, since it's wood, set it on fire. And then the hand of God is supporting the Jews, and the wind turns its direction, okay? And the fire from the wall, which they have built just on this part, the wooden wall, goes and burns the siege tower, or starts burning the siege tower.
Wow.
But then God deserts the Jews, and the wind changed direction again, and the wall is being burnt totally to the ground. This is happening around the afternoon, even night, and the Jews know that the following day there is no defense anymore. Like, hope is finished. So they are leaving some garrison over here, some soldiers to keep the gap, and they know that the next day the Romans are going to step in, enslave them, kill them, rape the women, do whatever Romans did when they won a fierce war. So the head, or the commander of the rebellion, Eleazar ben Yair, he has a different idea in mind, and he gives a speech in the synagogue, which you're going to give now. Okay?
Let's go.
Let's go. After they have finished hearing Eleazar ben Yair, everybody ran out, hugged obviously their wives and their children, and have slain them. Killed every and each person in Masada.